Chapter 2. I will never be humiliated again. In 1978, when I reached Bowdoin College at age 18, my brain had pretty much caught up to the other kids, and it was ready to learn. But it hadn't learned what it was supposed to have learned in high school. Catching up was needed. And just as Mrs. Gilman in first grade had taken special interest in me, new mentors in the form of attentive professors showed up. At my first English class at Bowdoin, I wrote a paper on Beowulf. The professor told me I had no idea how to write, but that he would teach me, and teach me he did. The religion professor at Bowdoin saw me as some kind of heir to the philosophical lineage that stretched from Hegel to him, and in 1979 to me. He actually said that out loud in front of the entire Religion 101 class. Weird. And kind of thrilling. My chemistry professors took me into their research labs, and I got to do real science. Academics, which had been so hard in Longmeadow, were now really easy. My roommates would pull all-nighters studying for exams. Me, I just went to sleep knowing that I knew the material. And without much effort, I got perfect grades in every class. And best of all at Bowdoin, no mandatory gym classes. Now, at Bowdoin, I learned something really important, and it wasn't how to write a paper on Beowulf. I learned the secret of how to never be humiliated again. Do you want to know it? Yeah. Mm-hmm. It can be summed up in one word: success. I was Scarlett O'Hara at Tara, kneeling down in the dirt, looking up at heaven, shouting, "As God is my witness, I will never be hungry again." Actually, I was a teenage Jewish boy, probably with a Jewfro, kneeling on a manicured lawn at a very expensive liberal arts school, whispering silently to myself so no one could hear, "I will never be humiliated again. I will be successful." And I was. Now, after 4 years of academic success at Bowdoin, the question naturally arose, how would I continue success after college? My roommates were applying to medical school. I knew that doctors were successful people, so I applied to medical school too, and got accepted to Stanford. Now at Stanford, I was again blessed with new mentors, but there, the mentors were not the professors, they were the other students. My new friends at Stanford showed me a new way to be successful. The success that they showed me was recreational success. They were masters of it. Some of you guys are here tonight. They ran, they biked, you guys, they skied, they climbed mountains. Some were even thriving vegetarians. Now, at Bowdoin, we talked about what we were studying. At Stanford, we talked about where we windsurfed and skied. So I became as successful an outdoor recreationalist as I had been a student. And oh yeah, I learned medicine too. Now, I was also achieving socially. I lived in a cooperative household with a bunch of other people, and I was never wanting for friends or company, but I was lagging behind in a critical area: dating and romance. Everyone else was having sex and romance. At age 22, I wasn't. Never had. Never. I thought I had no idea how to approach a woman, and I believed that if I did approach a woman, I would be rejected and then humiliated. Now, just as that happened so many times before, though, new mentors showed up in the form of 3 remarkable women. Elizabeth Targ was a medical student, classmate of mine. Now, when I was with Elizabeth, my heart would beat fast, my chest felt warm, I felt good being with her. We would go to the Stanford Coffee House and talk for hours. I didn't want to do anything to disrupt that connection. It just felt so good. I didn't even want to get up and go pee. This led to amazingly painful, full bladders. I loved Elizabeth, but she was always dating other guys. Those full bladders turned out to have been unnecessary. Now, my second great love was Tina. Tina and I connected mentally, emotionally, and physically. I found out what I was missing, and I liked it. It was better than I thought it would be. Finally, I was successful in the arena of love. And shortly thereafter, I met the third of the three wise women, Rachel. Now, I fell in love with Rachel when I was 27 years old. A lot has happened since then. It was a long time ago. It's really hard to explain. But maybe, if this show is a smash hit, I can parlay it into an HBO miniseries in which my entire love life will be explained, made crystal clear to everyone, including me, but only after 10 lucrative and successful seasons. Sound of the People, take a note. I want my HBO theme song to be Break On Through to the Other Side by The Doors. I want Zac Efron to play me. The young Zac Efron, before he got too muscular. Now, even though my HBO series hasn't started yet, I can give away one line of the plot. I was as in love with Rachel as I ever had been with anyone else. And shortly, we got married when I was 30 years old, and then we moved to Seattle. I was being successful, financially, recreationally, and romantically, and it kept on getting better and better. We had money, we had a dog, then a kid, another dog, another kid, remodels, new cars, prestige, nonprofit board presidency, trips to Whistler, singing in church choir. The humiliations of the past were distant memories, and I was only too happy to leave them behind. But a life dedicated to avoiding humiliation via achieving a success had its downside.